with Paints and Glitter, and I am live today just to do another little assembly video because I did not want to give up on this die set. I'm going to find my video as I often do before I begin here so that I can see what I'm doing, and I'm hoping that this will be nice and clear today. I'm just gonna zoom in here to avoid any distractions. And okay, I'm gonna wait a minute or two to see if anyone joins me. I did not announce this video. I don't always announce my videos, and that's okay because I'm just crafting and I wanted to revisit this die set. If you're re-watching this later, then I am going to share that I discussed having gotten this die set because it was at a great price. So let me go ahead and share that with you guys in the comments before I move along. And it's just going to take me a moment to get you guys that link. And I'm just going to be doing this since there's no one here yet. And again, if you're re-watching this video, bear with me. I'm just wanting to make sure that I grab the information that's going to be asked of me anyway. I try to always leave useful links on my videos, and sometimes people read the description bar and sometimes they don't. So let me share what I have here in the comments, and then later on I will update the video itself. Hello again. Hi, it's Alvina, correct? I know that I'm sounding robotic, and it's because I was reading and speaking at the same time. I hope you guys can see this clearly. I'm going to turn on another light here. So I'm revisiting this die set, and hello, Mari. Wonderful. So Alvina and Mari, thank you for being here. So Alvina knows this. I had a bit of a snafu with this. Was it 2 days ago now? I don't even remember. My days get blended. And I was playing around. So let me get the things, right? The items. Okay, so I was playing around with this die set. Now in the, I just shared the link for you guys if you're interested. This is, and yes, you're reading correctly if you're looking at that comment. This is currently 52% off on the Tonic USA website. Go ahead and grab it if you want to, and then come back, or however you want to do that. Hi, Wandy. Oh, sweetie, you're working today? I'm so sorry. It's so beautiful out. I just came in. Guys, you're not going to believe the crazy things we do, right? So before I move on to that, this is called Happy Hamper Gift Box Die Set. It is absolutely adorable. So you're very welcome. I was using these holographic papers, which are also from Tonic Studios. If that's something that appeals to you, they have some wonderful bundles. They switch up the colors, but let me tell you, they're so worthwhile. Here's the sample of the last one that I made. And you guys, the ones who were here could, you know, attest to the fact that I had no idea what I was doing. So in any case, I can now have a good laugh about it because I can look back and say, you know what? At least I don't give up. But it was the handle situation that I was not having any clue as to how to assemble. But I'm quite happy about the fact that I was able to just wing it and still get something that I think is cute. Now, I did say that I was going to make flowers for this, guys. I haven't done it yet. But I do have the dies set aside over here. These are the ones that I intend on using because I used them in a separate project, which was the hot air balloon. So for those of you who may not have seen this, let me just grab that. That's the hot air balloon, and those are the flowers. So I'm using the same paper collection, which is Maggie Holmes. What was it called again? Carousel, maybe? I don't even know. So I'm playing around with those same colors. This one I did make with a dark purple base, but then I went ahead and cut them all out again. And this time I cut them using the pink. And I was just outside just came back in because my husband came home early today. And I happen to grow lavender in my yard. So this is just a side story, guys. Getting myself started. And I was out there and we just recently put bees in our yard. And I was like, honey, do you know what? I have a question. I haven't seen the bees go to my lavender at all. Like it's like they don't know it's there. And now they're new to our yard. So he goes, well, maybe they just haven't found it yet. And I said, well, what if I bring the lavender to them? And he said, that's not a bad idea. So we're literally standing out there with little, you know, pieces of lavender. And he puts it right next to the beehive and they jump on it. They just were like, yes, this smells great. And so at least that's my version, right? So I say to him, well, is there a possibility to coax a bee to say, hey, there's stuff over here I want you to touch, right? And he's like, you know what? It's going to take them a little time because they're new to the area and yada, yada. I was like, well, what if we can be a little more persistent? So he goes, I think we need a jar. Maybe I can grab some in a jar and bring them over there. And I go looking for a jar. Well, I come back, and there's a point to my story. I come back, and he has taken, I don't know if you guys are familiar with beehives. If you're not, look at my Instagram story. So he has taken a full tray that, you know, it's a box, and it's got little trays inside, like a file, manila folders, if you will. He's taken a full tray. He walked over to the lavender, and he goes, bang, and he just knocks them off, and they all go scurrying about, and I'm like, what are you doing? So that just happened about 5 minutes before I came back inside. I was like, I'm out of here because them bees are going to be so mad and they're going to probably take it out on me. So anyway, I was not about to stick around for the aftermath of that. But they seem to be pretty content with the lavender. Yes, Wendy, please come back. All right, so back to this. I keep cutting out the papers and looking at the colors and having all that fun, right? But in any case, let me just go over this super fast. I used this large die twice, cut my base out. I also used it a third time, but I only cut this portion here because I want this foundation to be nice and sturdy. I didn't do that the first time around, guys, but that's something that I like to do. So I went ahead and cut those, right? The handle is this here, or I mean portion of it, right? So I cut that out twice in pink cardstock. This is all 110-pound cardstock. I cut the lid, which looks like this, with this die out of 110-pound cardstock. And then I also used the layer that can go right on top. And I realize now you can't see this. This layering piece, I actually cut it so that I can put it on the inside, just to make that a little heavier also. I like sturdy, heavy pieces when I'm done. I also used these dies here, okay? And I cut these out in that gorgeous holographic paper that's, this is the rose one, and it is called, it's Mirror Card and Petal Pink. I thought it would play nicely with the papers that I'm using. So you can see what I did there. I also cut it in the 110-pound cardstock and I placed that on the back because, again, I wanted it to be nice and sturdy. Then what I did was that I grabbed, okay, the dies, the base dies that you can cut using the layers here. Okay, so this one I used to cut this in gold. That happens to be vinyl. So if you see that, so it's going to stick nice and easy. I also used both of these together to cut the panel that's layered on top, and that's that beautiful pattern there. And of course you don't have to use the patterns, but you can. And then last but not least, for now, I did the same for the little side panels, okay? Just layering, lots of layers there that you can choose from. But then of course with all Tonic Studios dies, you use as much or as little as you want. So let me just set these aside for 1 second because I'm going to describe another piece here. Here's the layer for the lid, another piece there for the lid. And there's this strip that you can cut out with this crazy looking die here. Okay, and I hope I've been in frame. Oh, I hope so. So there's this one here. So let me show you how that one works. What you end up doing is cutting this long strip like this. You can tell that I curled mine. All I did was take a bone folder. You can use a pencil, whatever you like, and you curl it, right? Once you get your curl established there, and I'm just going to set these aside for 1 second. Okay. Woohoo! My beads. That's where I'm going. You can take the object of your choice. In my case, I happen to have paint brushes. Couldn't think of that word for a second. And you can apply a little bit of glue here. Or you can use, you know, double-sided tape, whatever you're comfortable with, just to set that. I'm going to use this just to get myself a foundation on which to roll. Just to get myself started, right? So I'm holding on to that, and then I'm pulling the paper. Now you can pull toward you or away from you, whichever one you're more comfortable with, and then just start rolling. Okay, and then you can hold that for a second just while that dries. I hope you guys are all having a fabulous day, by the way. I wasn't sure if I was going to come back live or if I was going to do a pre-recorded video. But then I got to thinking that, you know, at least in the live videos, there are questions that can be asked more easily. And you guys can give me feedback on the spot. And sometimes I just like to craft like that, especially if there's something that's new to me. Now, this die set's not new in the world of retail, of course, but it was new to me. And I had my eye on it for a while. So I was so super excited to get it. Now, if you see here, I'm just rolling, and I did put glue right down the middle of that strip. And this is not a new concept. If you were born, I don't know, in the 70s, 60s, you would know that beads, paper beads were all the rage back then. And people used to do these with magazines. If you're not familiar with this concept, you would just, you know, rip magazines and strips and then apply glue and have at it. And then people, of course, have coated them with all sorts of different materials. You don't have to leave it as just paper if you don't want to. But this is how I do it. I just roll it, roll it, roll it. It reminds me of a croissant. For whatever reason, I think it's the same concept. Because it goes from wide to thin. And then voila, there you have it. You can squeeze it if you want to. And just kind of roll it around until you're comfortable. And then you remove it off of the paintbrush. And there you have it. You get your beads. Now, I used a piece of paper that is almost like a watercolor look to it from Maggie Holmes. So I thought that was a lot of fun. Here's the, okay. Here's what the paper looked like. So if you can tell, I cut more than that. But if you see the striations, it's kind of like a marble effect. And I love how that looks. Sorry, just got interrupted there. I love how that looks because it gives you, the word escapes me. Variety. Just leave it at that. It gives you a variety of colors there. So you can do them all solid and you use what you like. I'm going to update here in my chat really quick just in case. All right. So I don't think I have any questions so far. And of course, no one calls me until I start making a live video, but I cannot answer that at the moment. Let's go with the base here. Now, it's up to you how you glue these, but it's highly recommended that when you're going to make an item of this sort, that you start your scoring and shaping of the paper before you glue it together, and I will explain why if you're new to this. If you're a seasoned crafter, then you'll already know. But there's a line here, another line here. I'm going to repeat that. And those are the score lines, of course, that the die already does for you, which is wonderful. Okay, you get those done. But this, if you look at the basket, you'll notice that is actually very curved. It's not straight up square or, you know, rectangular. So you gotta get that going first. And what I like to do is take my bone folder and start at the center of the page or paper and pull out like that. And that starts breaking down those fibers, but you can be gentle with it. So you can like pull toward you or away from you, however you need to do it. But just start slow so that you don't rip the paper, okay? And then you can make it as strong a curve as you want to. I'm almost holding it as a 45-degree angle there and then going out like that, because I don't really need it to be too crazy. And then I'm going to repeat that here, only I'm going to go from the center up, or the bottom up I should say, just to get that curve established. So I wonder, in the chat, I see that I still have Alvina and Mari, and it says there's 2 more people here, but I'm not quite sure. Let me see. I don't think so. I don't know. Sometimes there's silent participants. But if you have this die set and you've used it and made a video or anything like that, please let me know. Leave it in the chat so we can come over to your channel and see your sample, or Instagram or whatever, you know. But please feel free to share that, because I love seeing how other people use the same projects. I know there are some ladies here on YouTube that are as big a fan of Tonic Studios as I am. I happen to be an affiliate, but that's only because I love the product. I wouldn't suggest it if I didn't really like it. Okay, got my little guys there now more curved. And before I'm so tempted to start assembling, but before I do so, if you see that now it kind of pops off the bottom there. Now I already did the same process with this, believe it or not. Even though this happens to be vinyl, I did do the same for the paper. Okay, so that way this would have that natural curve. So that's already been done. Excuse me. So I'm going to peel this off. Again, if you know, this is vinyl, but you wouldn't normally do this with paper. But I'm just going to place this here. And it's got a little notch here, but it automatically, you'll be able to see how easily it fits. And yeah, you can lay it flat if that's easier. I don't know how many of you like this combination of vinyl and paper, but it's I got introduced to this by the very sweet and lovely Melody Lane, who's no longer with us, sadly. She was my introduction to all things Cricut on YouTube. And I had a Cricut, but I didn't know that there were people making videos, and then I ran into hers, and she was just such an inspiration, really. Such a sweet gal, always willing and ready to answer any questions, and a very wonderful example of how to be just kind and share your knowledge. I don't know. So she would do things, you know, with the vinyl, because of course Cricut sells so much vinyl to use with the machines and all that. But I thought it would be great to just go ahead and give it a try with dies. And you do have to kind of follow it through with a pair of scissors. Sometimes it won't cut 100% perfect, but that's okay, because the way I see it is dies and that sort of thing are nothing but fancy scissors, in my opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and do this other one. And I love the variegated colors in this paper collection also. If you find that your paper is kind of separating a little bit, just go back in. Like here I see a little portion that didn't glue entirely, because sometimes it will separate while you're doing your curve. But you can go back in and add a little bit more. Oh, hi, Joanna. Welcome back. I wanted to come back. You saw me struggle yesterday. Or was it? I don't even know if it was yesterday or the day before now. I'm not remembering. But I didn't want to give up on this. And I thought, you know what? Let me just go ahead and share it live. Because I wanted to try it again. Now, I'm not saying that I know what to do today either. But whatever. I'm going to try it again. I'm not giving up. And I did see Jody. Jody Johnson is, of course, a rep for probably the most popular one, right, of Tonic Studios. And she's so wonderful at explaining everything. She did put this together with one of the other ladies, but I wasn't too keen on the way she did it, to be completely honest. So I figured, you know what, the good thing is that, you know, we crafters can create variety wherever we see fit. There's no rules on that. All right, so I was just trying to grab that little backing off of that. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's a fun little set. I can see so many different uses for this. And I'm going to be tempted to take a peek at what I have in my stash as far as masculine papers go. And I'm going to see if I can make a masculine version. And if I do, then I'm going to definitely at least share pictures. All right, so I'm going to burnish this just because the paper is not on par with the vinyl. So I'm just going to flatten it out a little bit so that it does make that contact and then continue that curve. Okay. That vinyl, by the way, is not my favorite, just to let y'all know. I'm going to be completely honest. But I had it in my stash and it needs to be used, so it's getting used. If there's a brand of vinyl that you guys like, please leave it in the comments. I do like the Cricut brand vinyl. It just so happens that this was, I think this was a Tuesday morning purchase. If you live in the US, then you know how that goes. You walk in there and they got stuff and you just bring it home because someday you may use it. And that's what happened there. Or maybe it was from Hobby Lobby, I don't even know. In any case, it was on sale, so that's how that happened. All right, now square to square. It's that simple. Just stacking papers now at this point to get our base. And guys, I forgot again, I meant to show you this soap that I purchased from a festival that I went to last weekend. It is so absolutely gorgeous and it would fit perfectly with this color scheme. Do you think I remembered to grab that? No, I did not. Okay, so square to square, as you saw there. And then as I mentioned before, I went ahead and cut it again just because I wanted a triple layer here. It's completely unnecessary because this is 110-pound cardstock, but I just felt like doing that today. And of course it would be utterly gorgeous if you did the pattern papers on the inside, because yes, they will fit perfectly. You will just have to curve them opposite to how you did it on the outside, and that's about it. But how sweet would it be to even, you know, stamp someone's name on the inside if you're giving this away? You can do so many things. Okay, now I'm going to, let's do the straps. So these are the little straps and they do have score lines here that you can follow. I'm just gonna go ahead and fold these all mount and fold. You don't, you know, I don't think it really matters. The idea is that they fold back and forth. Just trying to distinguish which is the actual fold line here. Okay. All right. These glue onto these two tabs here. Yes, the Cricut is a lot of fun. I have the maker and I have to confess, while my husband's outside mowing the lawn at the moment, I have to confess that I haven't used it enough. Not enough. not close to enough. Isn't that horrible? Now I've had every Cricut out there except for the one that used to, oh, there was an Imagine or something like that. I can't remember what the name of it now. There was a Cricut weird one that had this touch screen. That I never got. Thank God, because I would have thrown it out. But all the other ones I've had. And it's a wonderful, expensive pair of scissors, as I always say. It's really a fun machine. Especially if you just want to get stuff done fast. Well, actually, that's relative. I shouldn't say that, because sometimes it can take you longer to cut with that. It really depends on the project. Okay, so as you see there, I did adhere the two little pieces here. Now, let me show you what Jody did in her tutorial. She took the sides and she actually adhered these together. All right. Which I suppose is not a bad idea. She just tacked them together a little bit there. Okay. So let me see. I think these are going to be quite strong. So I'm going to see if that's even possible. Just adding a tiny bit of glue here. And overlapping, of course. So I'm just matching that little opening there. And I'm just going to hold on to that for 1 second. And that's probably going to be difficult to glue without hot glue because of the fact that it's such heavy paper. It's going to have that tendency to pull back. But I might give it a little drop of hot glue also. Let's see if that works. I've got my gun here on the side, and because this burns the glue, I don't like using it. It's just a hideous color, but just a little drop of it, like so. Okay, then I'm gonna go around the other side also and get those two overlapped. Because I don't have any desire to have this lay flat. I suppose that's, you know, personal taste, but I am going to supplement that with some hot glue. And I stay away from it also on live videos because I always have this horrendous fear of burning myself on a live video. But as you can tell, you don't need a whole lot. All right, so now I've got that foundation and okay, somewhat. So what she did was that she fed this little strip through all the way. Then she fed it back out through the slit that's down here. This is what she did. She fed it right back out. Okay. So this is one option. I'm not saying that I'm going with this option, but all right. And then she fed it through one more time through here, right? Like so. So if you see, according to those instructions, which yes, it was the same instructions on the packaging that I was unable to understand because I could not comprehend it. But she just kept going through, and according to that, then you don't need the adhesive. But what I find is that it's kind of loosey-goosey. I don't know. You guys, it seems like then this is not as tight, but I suppose you could push it up. I don't know. Let's see what happens, right? However, this doesn't include these little guys, right? And that's what I wanted to do, was that I wanted to be sure to include these on here. So let's see if that's something that I could do now and maybe adhere onto this portion, or And this is where I was stumped the last time because I was like, how did she do that? Because this folds in half also. So let's give that a try. Right? And this, of course, is meant to go with the lid. So you can either use this here as, you know, a layer on the lid, which is then going to go on top in here, and then use it to thread the rest of it. Let me take a peek at that real quick. Because guys, as much as I try to picture it in my mind, if I don't do it physically, it's not going to connect. And I don't know if anyone else out there is the same, but that's how I am. Because I want to be able to feed this through without it being permanent, because if it's permanent, then I'm not going to be able to open it. And that's where I ran into my questions of, hey, wait a minute. Does it feed this way and then back out in here? I suppose that is another option, because it's a lot of loop-de-loop-de-loops like that. I think I like this option, so I think that's what I want to do. Okay, now, instead of using this on here, I think what I want to do is not use that. I'm going to use this one instead, but I'm going to glue it this way, like that. And I hope you guys are following me. So let's do the lid, and we'll continue on with the little straps in a moment. Just going to add a little bit of glue down here. But that is different. I did want to mention that. It is different than what I did the last time. But I think any option is a good one, because so long as you enjoy using them and coming up with your own thing, then who cares? It's meant to be fun. So here's the top layer. You can cut it all out like that. You don't have to. I just decided to cut out the center so that I could slip in a different color. So here, again, I have that gold just layered right underneath the same little pattern style. And I appreciate your patience while I try to take off the backing. I know that I can. I know that I can. It can be done. Just going to use my pokey tool here. There we go. All right, so I might want to supplement this with a little. I think the reason I didn't love this vinyl was because of the adhesive. Now that I remember, I'm just going to supplement that with a little more. Rub it in, and then do the next layer. And there are more layers to this, of course. I just started it off with this. Like that. And then I'm going to, as I mentioned before, glue these little bits here. And because, again, because I doubled it up with the 110-pound cardstock, it's going to be a little bit more sturdy, because it's really going to be 3 layers of paper on those sides there. The decorative, and then the 2 pieces of 110-pound. That makes sense. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And this does fold. I'm just laying it flat to give it a moment to dry. You don't need a whole, ton of glue, but I'm going to push it down for a minute there. All right, I'm going to check in on the chat. See, I don't see any questions. And I didn't see any response to whether or not you guys have this set. Please let me know. Or how would you use it? because you can fit quite a bit. In fact, the sample that they shared, no, that was a different one. There's a new set that just came out also. That's a little box, and they shared a little candle, you know, fitting a little candle inside. And I meant to grab that frilly soap. I just forgot. Okay, I think that's gonna be nice and solid. While that's drying, let me grab a piece of ribbon. Bear with me, guys. So I've got some choices here. I think this one's too bright, and I've got this Grow Green ribbon. I think I'm gonna go with the lighter pink. And I just discovered this also. It's like a little pom-pom with pink. I think that would be kind of fun too. Let me see here. I don't even know what this is, but it's got pink and it's got white. And I think that this would be kind of fun. Yeah, I think that might work. Or it might be too bright. I don't know. Let's set it aside anyway, just in case. Because it would be kind of fun to use both. But I'm going to cut this down a tiny bit. Here. And I'm going to measure out a piece because my idea here is, of course, to use it with this as the handle. I hope I'm doing this right. I think I am, but okay. So I'm going to just kind of double this up a little bit. So roll it right toward itself. And add some hot glue here, just a little drop. And then pull that toward the glue. And I do stick my fingers in it, guys. That's just, I'm rebellious like that. And I had cut out these pieces just to let you know. So depending on how that ends up on the sides, I might use it to decorate that last piece there. But if not, if you end up using the other handle, by the way, which I did want to mention, and I did cut it out. I'm just trying to find it for a second. Here they are. If you end up cutting these out, this is your other option for a handle, and they meet in the middle like this. That's what I used here. Then you can use that decorative strip like I did on that one. So I did want to mention that in case you're not liking the whole ribbon idea, or if you know, of course, if depends on whether or not you want it to be super frilly and all that good stuff. I think if I make it like this, should be long enough. Is anyone there? Can you still hear me? Am I still on? I don't see any comments, so I want to make sure that you guys can still hear me. And I should have, yeah, I should have done the glue the other way. Let me see something. I might redo this because I don't like the way that looks. So I'm going to cut that, maybe. Taking it off. Changed my mind. Boom. All right. Yeah, I don't like the way that looks, so I'm going to cut this down. I'm going to put the glue on this little handle instead. Not use so much. So I'm going to bring back the very spot there that had glue on it. All right, now I like it. And of course, you have no idea how tempted I am to get out my sewing machine and fiddle with that for this type of craft, but not today. Okay, so I'm just going to add a tiny, tiny little drop here. And kind of gather it a little bit. And I'm sorry that you guys can't see this close up, but here's what I did. I just added a little drop of glue there and a little drop of glue back here. Just get that ribbon tacked on there. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay. Gonna make sure it's folded in the correct direction here. Nope. Gonna sometimes cut it down a tiny bit. And as my friend, who is it that tells me that I'm faffing? I'm faffing right now. Okay. I want to make sure that that looks good. Okay, here we go. Got my little handle on there. And let's see if I recall what I said earlier. I'm going to fold these down. These little bits are going to feed right on the other two sides. And then this is going to feed through here, as I mentioned before. But I'm going to do my other side first so that I get my tab ready. So again, it's going to go in the side all the way. Okay, this is coming off a tiny bit. I'm going to apply just a tiny bit of glue there. And of course, these are the kinds of things when you do 3D crafting, generally when you see the final product, the items have been drying for 24 hours. I highly recommend that you do that if you're gifting these, because it gives you the opportunity to come back and fix any issues that you might have of, you know, the papers coming apart and that sort of thing. Because depending on where you live and the amount of humidity in your area, it can vary greatly. So I've just fed that through all the way in, and then I'm going to feed it through again. Same little slots there. Okay. All right. It's got that fold right there for me, and that's what I'm going to use to feed through these slots. Okay, and these will slide right in, 1 and 2. Okay, and now that those are on there, I can feed them right back through again. And that'll create enough friction to get those little handles to stay. Without having to use glue. Okay, so I'm just going to push down on this a tiny bit, because I don't want my paper to tear, but I need to create that little gap in here. There we go. Fingernails are always the answer. So there's this one. It's different than that other one that I made, but I really like the way that it looks. Of course, if you were going to give this away, you would have to explain to the recipient that they're going to have to pull on that little tab. And as a matter of fact, you could even stamp that. There are stamps that say that. And I was looking to see here. Yeah, these are now too long, so I'm not going to be able to use these here unless use them as a decorative piece, but then of course you wouldn't be able to really fiddle with that, so I'm not going to use these on this project. I omitted these as well, so that's okay. And then the last thing to add, of course, would be the decorative little beads. And I do like the idea of adding the shiny ribbon here. So I'm going to cut off a portion of that. I'm going to fold it in half, feed it through here, the little circle, okay, and then open it in the center and feed those two little, I call them little legs, feed them through like that, just to create that loop, because now this is just purely decorative. And then you saw me feed one of those beads through there. And there's another one here. So I can maybe just do 2 on one side, and I think I have enough for 1 on the other side. I'm just gonna, because of the nature of this, it's almost like tinsel. I'm just gonna use my little pokey tool to feed those little beads, pom-poms, that's what they are, little pom-poms. I'm gonna just push them in there. Makes it a little bit easier. And then I'm going to try to leave it so that there's a pom-pom in the middle, and then just do like a little knot. Whatever, they can travel, it won't really matter. Okay, so I'll get my little knot here, and then that way they don't slide off. Can cut away the excess. I think they're so cute. And then another bead. Please let me know if you like this project. I hope it wasn't overly complicated. I don't think that it is. I think it's just a matter of having patience when you make these kinds of things, and not being afraid of trying the different folds or whatever, making it to your own taste. This one's a little too long, I think. I'm going to cut it down. As a matter of fact, yeah. I'm going to cut it maybe down to here. I'll do that again. You can also use tweezers. And these are the kind that naturally pinch. Reverse tweezers is what they call these. But I'm guessing that the grip is not very strong. So going back to my pokey tool. All right. There's that. And I'll make my little knot and cut off the excess again. There we go. That way it ends on a pom-pom and it's almost like a little bead. I think it's so super cute. And I love the handle being ribbon like this also. I think what I'm going to do is what I did on my other sample here, actually, is that I added the little gems to the perimeter of that. So if you can picture that there, I'm going to be adding those. And I might even add them all the way around. It's going to depend on whether or not I can get the glue in all the little right places, but I really love the results so far. I just have my little gems here. And let me move the camera a tiny bit. I hope you guys have been able to see this okay. Let me know your thoughts. I'm going to try to refresh my feed because I don't see, nope, don't see any feedback. So I'm not sure if anybody's liking this project today. It might be only me. I might be the only one who likes it. But I enjoy working with these. So I'm just going to go halfway through there. Oopsie, I got a tiny bit of glue on here, but that's of no consequence because it'll dry clear. Thank you, Joanna. I have to ask you, do you happen to have this set? I don't remember. I've been trying to use my the items that I purchased from last month when I was celebrating my birthday. But I've been struggling with some really intense headaches, and that's why my words falter. Why I'm kind of low on energy. It's not because I'm bored or trying to be boring. It's just that the pain is kind of, you know, difficult to get through. But meditating on happy, lovely things helps. And crafting is just my therapy, of course. Oh, you missed. Oh, that's too bad. Well, the USA site has it, and I think, I don't know if I'm correct on it, but I wonder if they ship overseas. I don't know if by default, if you live in the UK, you can only order from the UK site, because in the past, and the reason I bring that up is because in the past I have ordered from both websites, the USA one and the UK site, but I don't know how they, you know, how they work that out in the UK. Because for instance, here in the US, everything comes from their home base in California. So I know that they have to wait for their shipments to get there, and then they distribute everything throughout the US. So there's the little gems on the lid. It was that easy. If you've seen my other projects, you know I love adding those gems. I think that I also want to add another layer here. Let me see if I can get it off of here. Because I would love to add, for instance, the little handle and this one. I always struggle with these, and I keep forgetting not to destroy my fingernails, so I'm going to try to, here we go, hit it with my pokey tool there. But I'm wondering if I should introduce a darker color here, because then it'll give me, I'm going to cut it out and see if I like it. So I'm going to try this out. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to like this color, but I might. I have this this variety here, but I think they all play nicely together. Here we go. So I can put this one here, and it's a little dark. Let me try another color. Might like it better in this mint. Let's see if this one works. There's the newer box that just came out this week, and I think that one is just as adorable as this one. Of course, the shape is different, but they're all so stinking cute. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like that one. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that one on there. And I just found another bead. I thought I had 4. Trying not to lose my dies. Okay, but with this little one that has the score mark in the center, I can now cut what will be the little handle for here. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that adorable rose paper that I mentioned. My honey's poking in the window. Oh my gosh. So like I said before, if you hear loud sounds, I apologize. It's just him doing the lawn out there. But I get the feeling that you guys cannot hear half of the stuff that I can hear in this room. I see 5 people in this chat. I know that's not very many, but I do appreciate your assistance in getting my channel viewed. So if you could give me 5 thumbs up on this video, I would be so grateful, because not only does it allow you to receive content in your feed that you enjoy, but it also helps my channel. And it's just wonderful to know that other people appreciate crafting just as much as I do. As I mentioned before, this is my therapy, especially on difficult days. And anyone else who suffers from pain can tell you that, yeah, crafting is sometimes a lifesaver. So I'm going to add a drop of hot glue here and just pinch these 2 pieces together. These are just 2 little ovals. That's all. Okay. And then the other half, I'll fold back like that. Here I'm going to add the rest of that glue. And then I'm going to just try to aim toward the center here, because this is going to be my little handle. Okay, you put it however you like, but I'm just going to set it right there. Like so. So stinking cute. I think the contrast of the colors makes it super fun. I'm going to go ahead and add my little bead here, because I thought I was on... I thought first that I had miscounted, but I indeed made 4. Can't get my words out, guys. I apologize. Here we go. So I've got 4 now. Makes me happy. Okay. Let me give you a close-up here. So you see that this is only meant to be like a little handle there. I've got my little shine. And I've got my layers. I really enjoy using the variegated papers. I think it adds interest. I'm going to be removing all of my little cobwebs, of course. And if I go back and do anything to it, I'll mention it, you know, if anybody has any questions. But I might just leave it as is. I don't know. Hi, Ida. You hear everything? Sorry. Sorry, Joanna. I'm going to blame it on my husband. I think I want to add little Nuvo drops. As dangerous as that is to do right now. But, let me think here. I've got this honeysuckle color that I think would play well. Trying not to overthink things and just do it. However, I think I want to do the gems on the outside first, guys. But I think this is so stinking cute. It really is. And then the other thing is that the slits in here, I wonder if you were to cut them off, if that would make any difference. But I think that they're quite handy because they almost help the paper conform to that shape of the lid too. So I don't know, I really love it. I think it's so adorable. So super girly compared to the other one. Now, of course, I can make the flowers, as I mentioned, to, you know, zhuzh this up. Oh, thank you so much. Hi, sweetheart. How are you, Jenny? I feel like I haven't seen you guys in so long. And seen, of course, on YouTube, right? If that counts. How about, you know what? Let's do the flowers. This needs to be girlified, right? Let's do the flowers. Let's do this. All right. I'm going to move some of these things around. I am going to... Oh, I almost forgot. I got that sherbet pack. I mentioned this before from scrapbook.com. Links available below. And I love that these colors all play so nicely with these collections. So I might have to go back and get some more because they have really sold me. I think maybe that, whatever. I love that you can just grab a bunch, you know what I mean? And just do your thing as far as cutting, and then you have all your stuff together. So what I like to do, of course, is to layer them. I might do the flowers all in these colors and then all the leaves like this. Oh, you have it, Jenny? Yeah. Isn't it fun? I tried it, or I should say, I bought it just to try it out. I was like, oh, let me see if this paper is, you know, all the hype. Because, of course, when you see advertisement, you're like, well, it's solid paper. No, guys, let me tell you, it's got this kind of, it's not shiny, but it's got like this sheen to it that just makes it look so sweet. Leaves, girl, leaves. I'm trying to focus, but I can't because y'all know how I am. My brain goes all over the place. All right. I'm going to do what I did with the hot air balloon, which I grabbed the leaves that I liked from one packet, you know, switching it up. Because that other leaf just, it's not my favorite. So I'm going to do this. And you're going to hear some more noise because now I'm going to use the big Mama Jama plates. And that's just because it makes life easier to cut everybody out all at the same time. And for this project, because the project is not very large, I just like to use the smaller flowers. And of course, try to fit as many as I can. And that way, okay, this is too big, I think. That way I get everybody all cut out at once. Okay. Same with this. I had somebody tell me that I was a fast crafter, and I almost fell off my seat. Because I was like, I am not fast at absolutely anything in life. But, yeah, it is. Jenny, I'm with you on that. It's so wonderful to see some familiar names that I haven't seen in a while. So anyway, this crafter told me that I was fast, and I was like, you know what? I'm not fast. However, when I set my mind to it, if I use my supplies correctly, I can get stuff done, you know, more efficiently. So in any case, that is the story I tell my husband. When he says, do you need that? Yes, I do. I need it. I need it all. Because it makes life so much easier. All right. So you saw how kind of brave I was to layer 3 pieces of paper here. But I wanted to see if it was even possible with all of the dies. Now, again, these are not, the flowers are not Tonic Studios dies. These are actually Elizabeth Craft Designs. Also from scrapbook.com. Links available below. But for the most part, you know, even if it's not as embossed and as perfect when they pop out of this, generally speaking, you can get, you know, you can get a few going here. Now, as you can see here, I have to manipulate this paper a little bit more. If they stay behind, they don't work. I don't worry too much about it. I just, you know, do it singularly or whatever, you know what I mean? But I'm going to go back and do a few more here. I don't think I was using that. I don't know why that was out. I'm going to try to fit as many as I can again. And let's see here. Use every little space of that paper. I don't like to waste it, guys. That is one thing that I will feel guilty about if I leave any little bits behind there. But also being mindful not to overlap these. If you're not familiar with these, what do you call these things? The electronic machines, you kind of have to be a little bit careful about them. So I just squeeze the plate as I run it through. Hi, Sandra! I was chatting. What else is new, right? And by the way, if you need to get this at the sale price, which is it's available right now, scroll up to the beginning of the chat and you're going to see the link for this Happy Hamper is what it's called, okay guys? It would be the utmost compliment for you to use my link because that supports my channel and allows me to bring you fun content. And that way we can craft together and just enjoy each other's company, right? Okay, I think that those are enough flowers for now. Or maybe not because I do want that hot pink to layer. But definitely enough leaf action going on there. Let me, oopsie, bring this back. And just finish off these little flowers. And then we'll get crack-a-lackin' on that. My vocabulary today is just all over the place. All right, so let's just do those. And I pray to God that I didn't get anything stuck in the magnet. It's another thing to get, to make sure I don't get sidetracked on. I've been known to crunch a die or two by not realizing that they're stuck in there. Okay, let's move those off that plate. But I really enjoy this. Here we go. This is happy, good to go. All right. Now, I'm going to make use of my relic. I realize it's the ugliest thing that I have in my craft room, but if it works, it works. And that is this, it's meant to clean stamps, but I use the foam pad part to shape my flowers. It's got glue on it and ink, and that's why it's so stained. But I promise you I don't own a dog or anything like that, you know, don't have anything chewing on my craft supplies. Okay, let's grab some little flowers here. I want to create the contrast, so I'm going to grab a stylus and just roll on these very gently. Yes, in my case, the machine would break the die before, yeah. That machine is so powerful. I have to be really careful because I've already accidentally put a die in there with a different plate. And it's got a metal plate to it. A metal shim, I should call it. And that thing had a permanent, you know, embossed die right into it. I was like, oh my gosh. Gotta remember to be careful. Now, I said I wasn't going to use these bigger ones, but I guess I didn't listen to my own advice, but whatever. Okay, so as you can see, I'm not being too careful about, you know, the size of this and all that. I don't think it's going to matter too much. You roll them as you want to. Sometimes I get uber precise when it comes to flower making, but that really depends on the paper that I'm using. because this is more of a whimsical style of project, then I'm not going to worry about that. If I'm going to go for a more realistic flower, which I've done in other projects, then I will use watercolor paper and I will color them individually and all that jazz, which takes way too long for me to, you know, do a live video on it. Excuse me. I need a sip. Today I'm drinking tea made with parsley and mint from my garden. Oh, and let me tell you, it's so refreshing. If you've not tried it, it's wonderful cold as well. You left your glasses. Oh, Sandra, I'm so sorry. I can relate. Before I started my video, I had to go up 3 flights looking for mine. I'm like, stop it. Okay, so it appears that somebody's trying to hack into my account. Isn't that lovely? Oh, my devices are always telling me. It's interesting. I recently had to change all of my passwords because some dingbat out there didn't have anything better to do but to hack into my accounts. I'm like, dude, if you know how broke I am, you would not be even trying to do that. You don't like parsley? Sandra, I promise you, it's so good for you. And it's, I don't know, I like those earthy green flavors. That's what I call them, the green flavors. Green tea, of course, coffee, all that good stuff. All right, so I'm almost done with the whole, you know, rolling thing here. You could tell I wasn't switching back and forth between different sizes or anything like that. Whoever gets in the way is going to get rolled. And I'm just going to try to separate layers if I think there's more than one. Okay, I got a good foundation there. All right, done with the rolling. Yeah, hackers, I don't know. It's crazy. Just crazy. I'll never forget one time I got a phone call from my bank. And the woman on the phone is like, ma'am, you know, she says, have you recently tried to purchase a boat? Or a yacht. I think it was a yacht. And I laughed so hard. I was like, yeah, me? I said, I wish. And she said, well, your account's been compromised and I have some transactions that I need to verify. And one of them is a yacht purchase somewhere like in Spain or France or somewhere. And I was like, I said, well, at least I have good taste. She said, this is no laughing matter. I was like, sorry. But I have a sense of humor and can't get rid of those so easily. But needless to say, that was one broke hacker because I'm like, I didn't have that kind of money to be buying no yacht in the, you know, south of France or wherever. I don't even know. People are crazy. But, and if I did, I'd be hacking myself. Yeah, it was bizarre. I was like, wait a minute, go big or go home here, you know. They should have started out at the local, you know, fast food place or something like that. No, they were going all out. All right, so as you can tell, I'm just layering the same colors that are kind of, you know, this is a variegated project, so that's what I'm going for right now. And I'm just using my hot glue because it's there and it's easy. And I love to create voluminous layered flowers. Love to do that. I love to add all the, you know, little bits and pieces there. I just find it to be fun. And then, of course, you get a unique style there. The shape of these flowers is just so much fun. Oh, I missed a couple over here. How did I do that? I'm just going to pinch these with my finger here. They're kind of in the shape of a little heart, each petal. So you can just do that too. Yeah, I know, if you're going to be a hacker, it's crazy. Just crazy. I was like, listen, if you want to steal my identity, you better be prepared to fill the shoes, girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever you are. Because this female right here has had to work real hard. So if you're not prepared to do my dishes and my laundry, don't be prepared to be spending my money either. Okay, I think I'm going to try to... I don't know if I want too large flowers. Maybe not. Maybe I just want... I'm thinking here, guys. Thinking. Yeah, I think I'm going to do the other ones kind of a medium size. No, that's too much. Maybe not. Let me see here. I'm trying to purposely use different colors, contrast and all that jazz. This one. So I'm doing the whole graduated sizes. I know it's probably not too evident, but I am trying to do that. Pink. No. Green. Here we go. That's what I was looking for. And then this color. Nope, this color. Okay, so I think I've got my colors there. I think I need one more over here. And let's see here. Sometimes you end up with too much of the same, but so long as you're happy with the outcome, who cares, right? So now it's going to be glue. Layer, glue, layer, glue, layer. All right, let me move the basket so you guys can see what I'm doing here. The other thing with the hot glue, of course, is that it's going to add a bit of volume if you want to, because you don't have to stick it and make it lay flat. You can actually kind of start pulling them back out again. And that's just a little hack, I guess, so that you get the volume of the hot glue as it dries. But I'm just going to make it whimsical and playful. So I got these very strange looking little flowers, but me like. I'm going to do the other one. There's that. And next. Woohoo! If I get too much glue, try to just hide it. Because not all glue sticks are created equal, and I have made the mistake of just throwing them all together in one batch, and I wish I hadn't done that, so that I could weed out the glue sticks that I'm not a big fan of. Because in my mind, I thought that all glue sticks were created equal, and it turns out that's not the case. Okay, so now that I have my little petals and all that good stuff, what I will do is, excuse me one second as I get the strings off of my fingernails. Okay. Mamma mia. All right, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to just push these aside for one moment so we can focus on what we're doing here. This is the, see what I mean? This is what I'm not loving about those glue sticks. They leave trails all over the place. But aside from that, what I will do now is that I have this little lid here, and this is just flocking from, it's from Tonic Studios. You can get that stuff just about anywhere. I know that I have a spoon. Here it is. I like to put them in little, you know, ceramic, whatever you have. And get my glue. That's what I was looking for. And I'm just going to do a little dot here in the center. This is what I did with the balloon also. And then I'm just going to scoop it right on there in the center. You use as much or as little as you like. Let that dry a second. This glue, by the way, dries very fast. And yes, you can use hot glue also. Okay, but let me show you how that looks. I think it's super cute. And it adds that depth of color also, which I think plays nicely with everything. I'm going to do that again. Just a nice little round mound there. And I'm going to do the same right over that. And do it again. Now, because the glue dries clear, if you don't end up covering the entire thing, that's okay. But I think it's so cute. I'm going to do one more. Okay. It's just as easy as that. You tap off the excess. Okay, so now I can add these, but first I'm going to pinch my little leaves a little bit. And of course, if I was going to do something a little more grungy or something like that, then I would ink these, but that's not the look that I'm going for today. And what I'm going to do is that to create contrast, I'm going to glue the one leaf on top of the other, like so, because I don't want this to be terribly dark. I'm just going to dot my little stem here. Leave me a thumbs up if you enjoy this video. If you're getting any ideas, if you're enjoying the content, if there's something that you can take away from it. Okay. All right, so I'm just gonna let that kind of drop on here and follow that up with some glue. I'm not too concerned about neatness because I'm going to be layering flowers right on top. So here I go with flower number 1. Flower number 2. Forgot that I had little legs there. Okay, so I'm just going to scooch that in there. It's looking a little bit monochromatic, but I still have all the other flowers to put in there. Flower number 3, I'm just going to scoot right under here, like so. I'll hold that one down a little bit. And now I can do some singular flowers here. Okay, so I'm going to do this little pink one right on here. Woohoo! There we go. The light peach color can do kind of toward the, well, I don't want to cover that all entirely, but I'm gonna see if I can sneak it around here somewhere. Yeah, I'm gonna put it right here. Okay. And let's see, the minty colored one. Got quite a bit of that going on, so I think I want another peach one here. Okay, so after I get my little flowers, then I can go back and do the centers. So I can do my little lavender one, as I mentioned before, with the Nuvo drop. Make a nice big drop on that one. I can switch it up with a different color. Woohoo! Okay. I have green. Let me see here. I've got this color. I think that might play nicely. Let's see. Put that one here. Yep, I like that color. Very pretty pink. This one, by the way, if you're curious, is Pink Orchid. I think I got this recently. I don't remember now. And then the other one is more translucent, and it's called Honeysuckle. And let's see. I've got some green here, and this is Key Lime. And I'm just going to do it on the center of this kind of peachy flower. But this is a very light color green, so it's not going to compete with anything else. And I think, oh, hi, Tanya. No worries. I didn't announce it. That's what I do, you know, every once in a while. I'll come on here, and if I'm just having fun, I turn on that camera. And then whatever happens, happens. I love how it looks with the little flowers on top. Super girly. I've got a little visitor here, my cat. My cat's gonna try to climb into my Tonic Studios box over here. But there we are. I think it's super duper cute. Here's the beads. I showed this if you need to go back and see how those were made. And the little gems I added. All of this was done in this video. So if you want to go back and see how it was made, you'll be able to do so. But I think this has been a lot of fun. And here's the other one, which of course now I can go ahead and add those little flowers too. That won't be such a bad idea. Make that nice and pretty, right? So it will not go to waste. But I'll do that off camera because it'll be the same process, of course. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, like I said before, please don't be afraid to leave the thumbs up. If you have any questions and you don't think of it in the moment, feel free to reach out to me. Woohoo! But I'm going to end this video here and come back as soon as I can with another project. But as I always say, I hope that you can be inspired and be blessed. And I thank you guys so much for having been here and stopped by and for saying hello, okay? Have a wonderful afternoon. Bye. And don't forget the links. All right, I gotta reach again. Remember, I'm short. Bye.